Salut, David Wallimann here. I just broke a string. Of course, it's right after pressing the record button for the solo. And anyways, it's the perfect time to answer some questions. Let's get started. Question number one is from Mika, who is asking me, where did he get the case for the Axe FX2? That's the case that Mika is talking about, and I've got a lot of questions about it. It's just a very simple rack case. I got it at Guitar Center. It's a Roadrunner case. It was about $99, and it's perfect for the Axe FX, I think. It's very, very simple. Nothing too fancy, but that's where I got it from. Next question is from Gustavo, who's asking me, when did you decide to become a musician? This question is actually a little bit longer. He's asking me what age I realized that I wanted to be a musician, what sparked that, did I attend any formal education, and all that kind of stuff. I was about 15, and at the time I was living in South France. That's where I was born and raised. And I had a guitar. I knew a few chords, but I hadn't made the commitment yet to really develop that musicality that was there. And I remember I was in my room doing whatever a 15-year-old boy is doing, I can't remember, and my mom is calling me. So I'm stopping what I'm doing, and I go see my mom, and she's like, check this out on the TV, you've got to see it. I go, and I see this guy talking about electro guitar, and it was cool. When your mom calls you to see something on TV, you never know, especially when you're 15. But she was right. And the guy talked about electric guitar in a way that I could relate to. He was very serious about it. He explained it not in a, junkie, hard rock, drugs, sex, and rock and roll type of way, but a very serious way. But he was, very cool, I thought. Anyways, that guy was Joe Satriani, and it was an interview that people were doing on him, a show on him, and that really inspired me to actually make that commitment that I would be the best musician I could be at the time, and I wanted to express myself musically. As far as formal education, yes, I did have some formal training, but that was after me taking the time learning on my own. So whether that's called self-taught or not, I'm not sure. I'm not going to get into that debate. I already did. There's a link below. You can check out that video. But I gathered as much info as I could, and I still do, whether it was on, well, actually at the time it was mostly magazines, paper magazines, and at the library. I spent a lot of time on the library looking at scale formulas and that kind of thing, until I participated in this contest organized by Ibanez in France. And that won me a scholarship to a one-year program. So I got kind of a formal education, and then I won another contest, another education thing. But that being said, I absolutely believe that you can make a career with never taking any formal education, especially today. If you're actually watching these videos on YouTube, you're getting an education in a way, right? It's just a matter of picking the right from the wrong. Anyways, that's kind of my story. I wonder what yours is. I'd love to hear it. Leave a comment below and let me know. This next question is from Vince, who's asking me if a change of equipment, such as a new guitar, can inspire a person to practice and play more. Absolutely. It happened to me, and it still happens to me. I think that when you purchase something, and that's true with a lot of different things, whether it's an instrument or a game that you purchase instead of copying or downloading on the internet, or an album, or whatever it is, when you actually put your money down, you're invested into it, and you want to get your money's worth. So you work more on the thing. And that's why I always recommend that people buy things instead of downloading them for free, not just because you're stealing from the artist, but also for yourself. If you actually put your money towards something, you're invested financially in it, and that's where you're going to make the most of it. Whereas if you download a $200 pack lesson thing, you're not going to work on it. You're going to have it on your computer. It's free, so who cares, Whereas if you actually put the money down, that's where you're going to get the most of the item. So I think it's true with instruments too, and that can definitely be a good motivator to go forward. But you kind of need to be committed though, and make wise decisions in what you purchase. I wouldn't recommend someone who has been playing for 2 weeks and is having trouble with inspiration. I wouldn't tell him to go purchase a $5,000 guitar. So you need to be smart about it, but yeah, it could definitely help you feel more inspired and work more on your task. So yeah. This next question kind of goes along with Vince's question, and this is from Epic Sausage, who's asking me, what type of guitar can you recommend to a guitar player who's still in the beginning of his journey but still feels like an upgrade? I understand the question. It's a great question to ask, but the answer is not going to be your answer. I think we're all different, and what you need to do is go actually try an instrument, especially if you're in those beginning years of kind of discovering things. Go to the store and try a bunch of guitars, see how they sound, how they feel. Are they comfortable? Are they suited to your hand? We all have different quirky finger movements and placements, and that's proper to you. So really, you've got to go there and try it. Make sure the guitar stays in tune. I don't think that it's necessarily a good idea to only go with a price tag. I've played some incredible guitars for in the cheaper range, in the $300 range, and they just don't feel like a cheap guitar if they're properly set up. But I would recommend just going to the store, and if you're really beginner, go with someone who is a little more experienced and who'll be able to tell you, yeah, that guitar stays in tune, this one doesn't. You're going to have problems here because of that buzz, but you've got to try them. I'm sorry I don't have a particular response for you, but try a bunch of different guitars. And this last question is from Dan, who's asking me questions about the whammy bar. I use a lot of it, and asking me kind of how people should use it. That whammy thing is kind of a habit that I have. I use it a lot for vibrato things. It's not as controlled as I would like it to be. I kind of had a tendency to always reach towards that bar for vibratos. I think it does add to the character of the sound of the instrument, but I really need to sit down and work on controlling the thing. That's something that I really need to do. So you touched on a good point there. I'm glad you brought it up. That reminds me that I've got to work towards it. But I guess I don't really have an answer yet because I haven't developed it enough. That's why sometimes having a whammy bar is an enemy if you don't control it. You're always going to reach towards it. And I'm lucky enough to have different guitars, and my Telecaster, for example, which hasn't gotten much play lately because I'm finishing the album and it doesn't always fit most of the songs, but I'll go back to it, and that'll force me not to rely on that vibrato and find the different sounds that I can use to express myself without that whammy bar. But anyways, I'll get back to you in maybe a few months on that. That's it for today. If you do have more questions, leave them below in the comment section. I will go through them, and I'll answer the ones that I want to answer, because after all, this is my channel, right? So I pick the ones I want and I will answer them. Generally speaking, as long as they are interesting and as long as they're not offensive, I'll pick them. Thanks for watching this. Subscribe to this channel, like this video if you do, and if you don't do anything. You don't have to dislike it. I guess you do whatever you want. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, and until then, salut.